Welcome back, guys. I've got an Audi Cabriolet behind me. It came in with offside front suspension collapsed. We're going to have a look at it and see what's caused this problem. So we've got the wheel off and have a look at the spring. You can already see there's a problem. This is broken from up here. So this spring is supposed to be all the way up there. And that's supposed to be touching the mounting up the top. The car will sit on the spring. Now this particular job, these Audi A4s are notorious for being one of the worst spring and shock replacement jobs there is out there. The reason being is this bolt, which goes through two ball joints, and it's a steel bolt going through aluminium housing, and they bond. They literally become one piece of metal, as steel and alloy don't like to be touching. So what happens is the weather, water, moisture gets in there, it acts as a catalyst and it just fuses them together. It's a mechanic's nightmare. And we can't take the suspension arms out the back because Audi, in their fine wisdom, put these bolts in from the back in, so we can't get them out because it touches the chassis. If they'd been put in from this way across to the other side, we'd be able to undo the nut, pull the bolts out, take these arms off and get suspension leg out the way so we can get the top mount out. But no, so we need to take this bolt out and try and battle with it the best we can. We do have a special tool for trying to force these out. Doesn't always work, but just sometimes we're quite lucky. So that's the easy bit. Now we've got the bolt to try and take out of the whole unit. It won't budge. So we have this specialist tool which is specific to this car just to get these bolts out. So I'm going to set it up and then we'll see if we can push that bolt out. On this particular job, there's no amount of heat you can add in there that's going to help you in any way. It literally is push it through or drill it out. So you see we've pushed the bolt through and the bolt's gone into this hole. So what we've effectively done is push this bush against here whilst pulling the bolt through the back. Now this bush has a very minimal depth, which is about the limit of where we are now. That's it. So we can't pull any more against that. For me to keep using this tool, I've got to use some spacers at the back to be able to push the bolt through, but I need to cut the end off so that I can use this part of the tool again. And now we're going to keep pulling, keep cutting, keep pulling, keep cutting till the entire bolt is out. That was truly a battle to the very end. This is the last piece that came out with the thread in it. You can see how it's just pulled the corrosion out. The segments where I've cut the bolt bit by bit. Without this specific tool, there's absolutely no way you'll get this bolt out. I've seen people discut the life out of these suspension arms just to try and release the arms, and they've had to buy hubs for them. This is a replacement bolt for it. They do come galvanised, but it still seizes in there. We're going to clean the hole out, and that's going to go back in either copper greased or just regular greased, just to give it half a chance next time round. I've had these before where they've been so tight that it's bent this end over and has made it even more difficult to get these out. Right, the ball joints are out, even with the air chisel. As you can see, this is steel in alley, and that was also seized. See a better picture of the broken spring there now in the background. Two of the bolts are already out, so we've got this final bolt here in the bottom corner, this one here, and then the whole strut should come out. And the leg is finally out. So I've just wound the spring back up so you can see where the break, what the fracture was. It's the bottom piece. Now, if Audi had drilled a hole at the top, we could have stuck a socket in there, clamped the spring and been able to get it out without all this hassle. Or if they'd put these bolts in the other way around, we would have been able to undo them and get it out that way. But if they'd actually put some anti-seize lubricant on these ends for the bolts and the ball joints, we may have had another chance of getting these out. So they had 3 opportunities to make life easier for a mechanic, and 3 times they failed. No hole in the top for a socket, bolts wrong way around, and no anti-seize. Absolutely abysmal when they try it. These manufacturers, the designers who design these, haven't got a clue. And all they do is make hard work for us. Just got the spring so you can see the brake a bit clearer. We get fractured springs all the time. The roads are so potholy and in such poor condition that we go through springs all the time. I also had to remove the arms. As you saw when I was trying to put the top cover on, it wouldn't fit on the machine, so I had to remove those. And the bonus is that I'm going to put the bolts in the other way around, so that the next mechanic can have an easier time trying to replace these top arms if they go faulty. And this is a strut with a new spring on it. The reason the spring drops so low is because the coil winds down smaller at the bottom and at the top. So as it broke, it was wider than the collar. That's why it dropped down with the weight of the car behind it. The strut's back on now. I'm just going to clean these holes up. I've got a 10mm drill bit here. I'm using an angle drill. I don't want to damage the wing up here. Then I'm just going to drill through and clean all the crud and corrosion out. All done. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. These jobs aren't without their challenges. Thankfully we have the specialist equipment and tools to do these jobs. I do invest heavily in my business so we can alleviate problems for our customers and get them through these challenges. There's always a cost for the customer, but it's a lot smaller than it could have been. Like I said, I have seen people cut these off and replace the whole lot just because they can't get the bits out. So this could be one happy-ish customer, but time spent unfortunately has to be paid for, so it could have been a lot worse. So if you did like this video, please hit the like button, the subscribe button, and then the bell notification so you're notified next time I upload a video. As always, take care guys.